How to play the awkward question game. The awkward question game is a popular party game you can play with your friends. It is similar to truth or dare in that you purposefully ask questions that put your friends on the spot. To play you'll need at least 2 players, but once you have a willing group you won't need much else except boldness and some clever questions of your own. It's great to play with close friends or at parties and helps you get to know people better. But you never know when you'll be asked something truly awkward. Play at your own risk. Method 1. Playing the awkward question game. 1. Find a suitable group to play the awkward question game. You might play this game with your best friend during a sleepover, or you could play with a group of friends when you're hanging out together. The goal of this game is to ask and be asked awkward questions, so you should be comfortable telling the people you play with personal things. You should try to find a private place to play this game. You don't want someone you don't trust overhearing the answers to your awkward questions. You might want to keep the ages of the people you play with close to your own. Older kids may ask questions that younger kids are less comfortable with. 2. Decide on house rules. There are many variations of the awkward question game, and you and your friends can modify it so you have the most fun possible. You might make rules about who you can ask a question to, what kind of questions you are allowed to ask, the order in which you ask questions, and so on. You could ask your questions directly to an individual, or you could ask a question and then have everyone answer it. Asking a question to the group is a good idea to prevent any one person from being picked on. You could make a question limit to prevent someone from being targeted by others. For example, you and your friends might agree that you can't ask the same person a question 2 times in a row. If you are younger, are concerned about bullying, or if your parents wouldn't like you playing the awkward question game and asking inappropriate questions, you might make a rule to keep all questions rated PG. This means no one should ask questions or talk about things you wouldn't see in a PG-rated movie. 3. Agree on expectations. Some of your friends might not have played the awkward question game before, and won't know what to expect. Take a moment before you start playing to make sure everyone is on the same page. Some appropriate expectations you might use could include: you must answer every question honestly, unless you pass. You can only pass on a question 3 times during the game. You can't talk about answers you learn playing the game after the game is done. Don't pry or pick on people after their initial answer. Any answer is okay. Repeated questions are automatically skipped and the turn goes to the person on the left. 4. Build up to good questions. Starting off with a super awkward question might make people feel uncomfortable and unwilling to play the game. By starting small, you can get everyone into the game, so that when it's time to ask a real awkward question, people are ready for it. Some questions you could use to start off the awkward question game include: what color underwear are you wearing? What was the color of your last poo and how big was it? What's the most embarrassing question your parents asked you in front of a friend? What's the worst place you've ever had to go to the bathroom? 5. Continue to ask interesting questions. While you're waiting for others to ask and be asked questions, think of new questions you can ask your friends. You might even get an idea from a question that one of your friends asks, so don't forget to listen up. Remember, the point of this game isn't to ask the most awkward question, but to bond with your friends and learn more about them. Some more example questions are: what was your last kiss like? Are you a virgin? When was the last time you were caught farting and what happened? Have your parents ever walked in on you doing something inappropriate? Where is your most ticklish spot? 6. Have fun and laugh a lot. There's a difference between laughing at someone and laughing with someone. Remember that some things embarrass others more than they might embarrass you, so try to be sensitive if one of your friends seems uncomfortable. Method 2. Adding variations to the game. 1. Come up with a manner in which people should answer questions. For example, you can write down many different kinds of accents on slips of paper before you start playing the game. Then you can put those slips in a hat. Every time a person has to answer a question, have them draw a strip from the hat and answer the question in the accent written on the paper. Some accents you might use include British, Southern, French, German, Russian, Valley Girl, Pirate, and more. You could also write 1. Time rules on slips of paper, like do not use the words the or a while answering your question. You can include challenges on your slips of paper, too. For example, one challenge might ask you to keep at least one hand on the table for the rest of the game. Failing the challenge might result in consequences, like having your turn skipped. 2. Include a point system and award a special prize. There are many different ways you can award points while playing this game. If you've decided to use slips of paper with accents, rules, you could have everyone playing vote thumbs up, thumbs down after answering the question. In this case, a thumbs up would mean that person did a good accent or followed the rule, while a thumbs down would mean they didn't do a good job. If there are more thumbs ups than thumbs down, you can give the person who answered a point. At the end of the game you can count up points to see who has the most. You never know, you may have a friend who is excellent at impersonating voices. The person with the most points could get a special prize, like a candy, a special seat while you watch a movie later, or something else. Even a small reward can get your friends more interested in the awkward question game. People tend to try their hardest and get more involved to achieve a goal. 3. Make the questions beforehand. Even good people sometimes get carried away when playing games. Sometimes this can lead to someone's feelings getting hurt. To prevent questions from getting out of hand, you can write up the questions you will use for the game on slips of paper before you play. These can then be drawn out of a hat, paper bag, or laid face down and mixed up on the table where each can be selected. Picking a slip of paper would be the same as being asked a question. To make your friends feel included, you might all come up with the questions together. This way no one is surprised by the questions, but no one knows which question they'll be asked. You can include a few wild card slips with your questions. When a person draws a wild card, she can ask anyone any appropriate question she wants. Tips. Laughing together will make even the most awkward questions less embarrassing. Let your friends know that you've had similar awkward experiences and that you're more alike than they realize. Try to keep everything light and friendly. This is the awkward question game, not the embarrass your friends game. Be nice. Everyone should have fun. This is a game, after all. Warnings. Don't go overboard. You may seriously upset someone by prying too deeply into a personal topic. You might not want to play this game with people you don't fully trust.